afternoon. Our project is made up of Fernanda Flores and Alfonso Cuevas. We will present about the theme and the charter Pancho Villa. Currently question your reputation.
That's right. Today, in this podcast, we are talking about Pancho Villa, a man known as a revolutionary, but in his past, he's known such as murder, kidnapping, rape and capture of people, burning a woman alive, robbery, looting half of entire villages, and very strange hatred towards the Chinese people.
Positive contribution that is the charter made in Mexican story was that he did a great job in the revolution. Think in the army to the constitutionalist.
Yeah, Pancho Villa fight in the revolution and etc. 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 He made a lot of good things, but that can erase his past about his crimes and every deeds he did. Well, I mean, he killed a lot of people and a lot of families um perish at death of a familiar, of a friend, of a grandma, of a dad, of a tata, etc. Um, that it's a thing you can't just hide behind the sofa.
But for my point of view, he helped Mexican Revolution a lot by bravely opposing the three leaders, and I think that we remember him as some good.
Okay, now that's your point of view. Okay, now my point of view is he did help a lot in the revolution, but in large part he did it because it was in his interest to put an end to it, and a fetch of a hero, I think.
Okay. The next topic is talk about your story.
Okay, tell about my story. Okay, I was born in CDMX, Ciudad de Mexico, in 25 March of. Okay, that was a bad joke as hell, bro. Okay, Pancho Villa was born on June 5 in 1868 in a town called San Juan del Rio. He was born in poverty, and because of that, he had to mature at a very young age.
And at the age of 14, Doroteo evaded the law. At the 16, he made at the attempt on the life of a man who sexually abused of his sisters. His sister was 12 years old, and it is rumored that she had a son. Years later, Madero defended Pancho Villa from the rumor, leaving unsaid his criminal story.
Finally, Pancho Villa used a saddle with a face of a Chinese. The men in charge were even fed up with him, but did not have the courage to kill him. And there's an entire book dedicated to his criminal life, entitled "Los Crímenes de Pancho Villa." Will people like Pancho Villa or Hitler be bad for having a mustache? Maybe. And also He tried multiple times to make a new life and start again, but it never really worked for him. And he changed his name to Pancho Villa because he was well searched from the for well searched um, from for the law for um, have sex with her sister and probably have a children with her.
Okay, our next topic is something that my parent will be very excited about because is talking about an hooding or protagonist. Alfonso, what do you think about the crimes that Pancho Villa is accused of?
I think all of the crimes of Pancho Villa was just a horrible thing, and I hate Pancho Villa with all my soul and all my heart. And maybe, well, not maybe. I am sure too much people hate that guy a lot, and especially teachers of history or people that specializes on history. I am pretty sure they hate that guy included much than I hate him. Odio a Pancho Villa.
Like my parent, Pancho Villa, he is very hooded without taking into account the education they had at that time. I completely agree with the punishment he received because I take into account the seriousness of his crimes.
Fernanda, what type of education are you talking about? He hasn't had studied anything. Maybe he probably just know to kill people, maybe read, and one and two plus two is four. He hasn't had education.
I don't dare say that he is a good person. I think there was a lot to learn. Okay, so as not to continue arguing about this, Alfonso will choose a single cream that we are going to analyze.
Okay, maybe you can tell me a little about uh, what they learn in that time. Well, I mean, you are interested in the learning in that time. Maybe you could just tell me a little bit about that. A single crime about Pancho Villa. There's many crimes about Pancho Villa, and we can't analyze every single crime. And maybe it takes us an hour to analyze every crime. But if we had to focus on one crime, maybe we could focus on the time he burned an village and killed a lots of people. In that case, it's it's a special case for saying in some way because the people to work from him for him was angry and feared about the way of Pancho Villa to do his to his daily matutine routine.
Here I was absolutely agree with my parent because it seemed unacceptable to me to abuse the power that a person can have to take someone's life. Unacceptable. I think Alfonso and I agree that on this occasion, Pancho Villa looked like a bad guy. The next thing is to give an individual conclusion, but I think that the opinion of both is more than obvious. Pancho Villa was a predator. There are not more words to call it.
In my final conclusion about Pancho Villa, yeah, he was a very, very, very loyally bad person. He killed thousands of people and etc. etc. But in good case, in good case, he helped to the Mexican Revolution, and he make one of two appeals to that. So I don't think he's good at all, but it it's a little bit less evil. Just a little bit, just a little. I don't know what to say like now. I am tired, thank God.
In my individual opinion, like people, Pancho Villa has a good side and bad side. In this case, I cling to the idea that he was a man who took advantage of his power. I think there is a lot to thank for history, and especially there is a lot to learn from him.
And with nothing more to say, this is the end of our podcast. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast of the Pollos Hermanos family, presented by me, Alfonso, and Fernanda del Carmen. We are waiting you for the second episode that may be released never, because this was a homework. And with nothing more to say, we have to go. I have to do math homework, and didn't have realized it. I had homework yet. I am tired. Goodbye.
Our culture is one of the greatest misfortunes of my race. Pancho Villa.